Peace, everyone. Peace, everyone. Let me make sure that everything is working properly. Okay, it is. Peace. Welcome. Welcome. Peace, big bro. T. I still be want to call you Snow. If you can hear me, Big T, can you put a 1 in the chat, please? Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Uh-oh. Let's see. Oh. Let me see. Red only. Okay. Snow is back. Alhamdulillah. Oh boy. Okay, peace. Um, so by Snow's response, I take it that you all can hear me very well. Okay, alhamdulillah. You can hear me loud and clear. Awesome. All right, peace everyone. I'm just coming in for a few minutes. Just wanted to review today's focus for the prayer and fasting for Flint. So today we are focused on prosperity and abundance. And so I'll put on my glasses. I started out the day on putting a affirmation or declaration on my page about prosperity and abundance. And I'm encouraging everyone to affirm and declare prosperity for themselves, right? So I stated that prosperity, abundance, and provisions flow into my life with ease. I have more than enough abundance to spend, save, and share. My prosperity ensures that my responsibilities and obligations are paid in full on time. My talents, thoughts, words, and actions reflect prosperity and abundance. My community is a direct reflection of prosperity and abundance. My community is abundant with natural and tangible resources. My community is so wealthy that hopelessness and homelessness does not exist. We take care of each other abundantly and with love and care. So let it be. So, my affirmation was what I wanted for myself and what I would think that others would want for themselves as well as this is the kind of community that I want Flint and other communities to become a direct reflection of prosperity and abundance, not a community of corruption, right? So we need to start speaking abundance into our lives. So that's why I said affirm, declare, know, and believe. You can't just state something and not know it and believe it in your chest. Say it with your chest, right? Say it with your chest and say it and visualize it. And when you visualize it and say it, act as if it is already in motion, as if it has already manifested. So, early this morning, and when I say early, I mean early, like before dawn. I'm gonna say during spiritual hours. which I consider to be between 3 and 5 a.m. Some say between 3 and 6 a.m. Okay. So I was up and I took a shower. And for those of you that know, I typically receive inspiration messages. Some people call it downloads when I'm in water. So um, I received the words, do not whore yourselves. Do not whore yourselves. And it's not, when I say whore, it's not in the sexual sense, right? You got to go deeper. Though it could be for some people, but let's go deeper. So, a definition that I found to describe what a whore is a person who sacrifices principles or uses someone or something in a base or an unworthy manner, usually for money. But we can add on to the money part. Some people whore themselves to get titles that are dear to them, that they put a high standard on. Um, some people whore themselves for attention, right? We have attention seeking people. Um, there are many ways that we can whore ourselves. And I, I was I was amazed that I got those words on the day that we are focused on prosperity and abundance. And I've told y'all since this prayer and fast, things that I have been experiencing in my life have been flowing, have been in alignment with each focus day. I have found something about um, each focus of each day of this prayer and fast that's in alignment with it. Okay. So do not whore yourselves. So we live in a society. We know that America is a capitalist society. America puts a lot of um, energy into money. And we live in a society where we are conditioned to work, grind, use our talents and our energy to get a paycheck. And usually, this grind and this consistent work energy, someone else is benefiting from it, not us. Um, that's what jobs is or are, excuse me. So I got to thinking about how many of us could actually be using our God given talents, our natural gifts, our natural talents, and by having our own businesses. And I think that what gets in the way of that is that, for one, we are not trained to think like that. We are not conditioned to um, think like entrepreneurs. And another thing is fear. Fear gets in the way of us stepping out of our comfort zone of clocking in at a 9 to 5 job, right? We feel that false sense of security. Um, I know I'm one of them. I've been working since I was 16 years old and just conditioned to have a job. That's how I was raised. You have a job and you keep one consistently. Um, so, but are we whoring ourselves? Now, are we whoring ourselves to the point of not realizing that we can do for self? It reminds me of what the Nation of Islam teaches about do for self and not relying on this system that we reside in, because we do know, excuse me, that this system was not built for our benefit. However, we are in fact a slave to it. And so, I think that, well, I hope that, and I'm speaking to myself first, is that I want to get into a habit of when I think about prosperity and abundance, I think about myself. My face is what I see when I think of prosperity and abundance. I don't want to say, dang, I'm broke because I have only a certain amount of money, right? I want to look at everything about me as prosperity and abundance. My personality is abundant. What I do, I'm a social worker. My service to the community is abundance, it's prosperity. The way I carry myself, my demeanor, my confidence, my self assurance is prosperity and abundance, right? My children are my wealth, my family are my wealth, not just materialism. This is something that I have not mastered, and actually, I have not really accepted this new definition of prosperity and abundance until now, until the present. And we just focus on generational wealth, and which I'm not mad about in regards to passing down materialism to our descendants, right? Let's go deeper. Generational wealth should include wisdom. It should include righteousness. It should include a standard of righteousness, a standard, excuse me, subhanallah, of morality, of ethics. That is wealth. Wisdom is wealth. Guidance, spiritual knowledge, that is wealth, because that's going to get you through. Um, Especially now that the American dollar is not valued like it used to be. So the economic system of the West is going through some changes, and it's not the head honcho, so to speak. So I came on here really to say, let's stop whoring ourselves for other people. Sometimes, and I'm a realistic person, so I don't want anyone to think that I have mastered this, because I have not. You know, a little bit of transparency. I'm going through a test myself. With this, what I see is that some of us become so desperate, so much in a state of fear, that we are willing to sacrifice who we are. We are willing to sacrifice our soul. We're willing to sacrifice, um, what do I want to say? We're willing to sacrifice ourselves and even go as far as undergoing a humiliation ritual just so we can be seen by others in a certain light and reach a pot of gold. Some of us are willing to go as far as to align ourselves with people that do not benefit us, that do not like us, that do not love us, and wish us harm. Let's wake up and be mindful of that. Let me go to the chat and let me see what the chat is saying. Okay. I'm going to go all the way to the top, y'all. So y'all be patient with me. Okay, I got Snow. The snowman is checking in. Thank you, Snow, for your support. He said, Snow is back. And he's going to give them what they want. All right, big bro. I'm not mad at that. Peace to the snowman. Peace to Robin. Thank you. Thank you, Robin, for coming in. Thank you, Snow. I appreciate you. Let me go down. Peace to my little bro, Brandon. Yes. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. My 5-year-old is trying to get in here and I blocked the door. Attention seeking horse. Yes, Snow. That is one of the things that we struggle with, that some of us struggle with. Let's see. Yes, Robin said that's a fact. We're trained to be workers. Snow said I got a marketing company that's lucrative. Alhamdulillah. Let me try to mute myself because I want to see what this baby want. Just 1 second. I am so sorry about that. I just need a few minutes to do this real quick. And I got somebody cutting up on me. Okay. Peace to Taz. Snow is in agreement. Yeah. See, and I begged my mom for a job when I turned 16. She drove me and my friend around to get our first job. Hold on. Snow says, sold drugs all my life, never had a job, but one time on Oxford, Michigan, and got fired there for selling dope. You've always been an entrepreneur, Snow. Just 1 second, y'all. I'm going to step away 1 second. Y'all, excuse me, this baby was hooping and hollering over waffles. I thought something was really wrong. Okay, sorry about that. All right. Okay, I don't know who Robin is talking to. Sharon Holloway. Hi, peace, Sharon. Yes, Robin, a humiliation ritual. You know, we hear about it all the time on Hollywood, right? Or in Hollywood, like with the actors and actresses. Um, but I think we see that in our own neighborhoods. We see that in our own communities amongst some people that are willing to be embarrassed or humiliated to get to a certain position. I don't know. That's just something that I'm noticing. Thanks, Snow. These babies act like I can't get away for just a few minutes. Sharon Holloway, I don't know what you're talking about. You following this it a cult? No, I don't belong to a cult. I am a Muslim woman and I'm participating in a community wide interfaith 7-day prayer and fasting. There's nothing cultish about this. So today we're focused on prosperity and abundance. Yes, I am Muslim. And Robin, you saying this is okay? So Robin, this is one of your people. Okay, I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm taking this is one of your relatives, maybe. Okay, I'm gonna move on from that. Wa alaikum assalam, Mr. James Lewis. Thank you for coming in. So, one other thing that I wanted to touch on in regards to this subject matter is that um, we all, well, not we all, maybe we all, but what we don't realize when we see people with a lot of wealth is that they will be tested. My Arabic teacher just spoke on this today in my Arabic class and stated that um, wealth, like tangible wealth, money wealth, is a test for a lot of people because what are you doing with it? That's another thing to keep in mind when it comes to prosperity and abundance. Um, are you willing to share your wealth? You know, for example, in Islam and I think in all the religions, that giving charity is a a basic duty, right? Is to give charity. So once you obtain a certain amount of wealth, what are you going to do with it? How will you give back to humanity, etc.? So that was something else that I wanted to touch on. But the main focus for me is to not view abundance and prosperity in someone else's control, in someone else's lap. Um, Start viewing it as something that is already within you. You have a God given right to abundance and prosperity. I hope this makes sense. I hope that we can start realizing who we really are on a soul level. And I hope that we get out this matrix of working a 9 to 5 and feeling as if we have to put ourselves out there and do demeaning things um, because we don't. I believe that true prosperity and abundance does take patience. Um, and our current society wants us to, well, it's set up like a what is the word I'm looking for? Like an immediate response, like a microwave, right? Instant gratification. So, and that's why you have a lot of illegal activity, a lot of corruption. And that is something that we don't want to be involved in. So, but that is the message for today. Um, is to not whore ourselves. Um, anyone else have anything to say before I close out? Miss Sharon, you have a great evening as well. Peace, Felicia Martinez. All right, y'all. That was it. I'm almost at the 30-minute mark. I apologize for my 5-year-old interrupting. um, but it is what it is. So I hope that we leave each other just knowing um, how gifted we are, and that the abundance and prosperity that we are seeking lies within us already. And we will never not be taken care of. We do not need to rely on anyone else. We do not need a welfare system. We do not need to be a slave to anyone else. All we have to do is tap into ourselves, and we can be as wealthy as we want to be. Stay away from the distractions, stay away from the negativity, and focus on yourselves. Focus on where you want to be, where you want your family to be. Thank you, Robin. This word will touch all that needs to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was kind of like, is this title going to be offensive? Oh well, if it is. If anyone is triggered by it, you all know what I say about being triggered, right? Anyone or anything that triggers you, you need to heal that. There's no sense in being mad at somebody. Um, whatever triggers you needs to be healed. So if that word is triggering, then you need to self-evaluate how you moving in this world. You need to check yourself. Don't check me, check yourselves. I don't do subliminals. I'm very straightforward. This message came to me, and it is in alignment with today's focus point: prosperity and abundance. I hope everyone is doing well with this prayer and fast. If you are participating, you can still participate. You can still fast if you want to, pray if you want to. It ends, the last day for it is on Tuesday. And as a reminder for those that do not know, this was started by a group in Flint called Faith Leaders in Network Together. The acronyms is Flint. So I decided, why not do this? Because what else is being done? So, in regards to, changing Flint. So, I've been putting motivational messages on my Facebook page, and not only addressing the community of Flint, but also affirmations, self affirmations, family affirmations, anything positive that can help us. Because why not? So, anyways, I love you all. May we all finish this day in a peaceful manner. May we have a peaceful evening. And I may or may not come on tomorrow. We'll see. Definitely will be coming on Tuesday, which is also an election day for Flint, voting for the 3rd Ward seat, which we know that Miss Beverly Biggs Levy is running for. So, um, my opinion, I hope that she gets it. But Allah knows best. So I love you all. Thank you for supporting me. And please sit in what this message is about and really question yourselves. Are you allowing yourself to be exploited? Are you allowing others to gain and benefit off of your energy, off of your talents? Just even look at it from the standpoint of, and excuse me, I know that was my second time trying to end this live, but the thought came to me. Was it last year or the year before where they started to change the college basketball team? What is that called? College basketball, not the NBA, the college one, where these young people are using their talents, right? And universities are exploiting them. So they're playing basketball for free. Granted, they're getting scholarships for their education, but a lot of them are coming from impoverished families, and the universities are making millions of money, of millions and millions off of them. And then sometimes they get hurt in the game to where they can't play anymore. That's how I want us to look at some of these jobs, if not all jobs, but I don't want to discredit all jobs because a lot of jobs are needed, right? I'm not downplaying anyone having a job. I have a job. The point is to really start um, looking at yourself as um, abundant, as wealth. You are naturally wealthy. So now with college basketball, going back to that, they are now being paid, or they can now receive endorsements. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong with this. Yes, Brandon, thank you. So, and I think that's a good thing because, again, these universities, these corporations are benefiting off these young people's energy, their talents. And that's not right, in my opinion. So I want us to start shifting our focus, to start turning it around and really see the value in ourselves. Okay? That is my hope. That is my prayer. And as I'm telling you this, I'm also speaking this to myself because I have not mastered it. Okay. But again, I hope that everyone is given prosperity and abundance and wealth. And I hope that everyone leaves this tidbit, this talking point, um, trying to search for who they really are, knowing that they are more than just another employee. Know that you are worth more because you come from God. Okay, I'm ending it for real. Thank you all for joining me. May you all have a peaceful evening. I love you. Assalamu alaikum. Peace to everyone.